John Cena was on SmackDown on Friday night. It was his final SmackDown. I did not know that until he said that on TV on Friday night. I knew it was his final Chicago appearance. They were in the very building where he debuted 23 years ago and shouted "Ruthless Aggression" at Kurt Angle. I don't know why I sounded like Vince McMahon there, but here he was, full circle moment back in Chicago, first appearance, last appearance, but I did not know that it was also his final SmackDown. He will not be on SmackDown at all for the remainder of this retirement run. I tell you what, though, about Kurt Angle, I still get upset, though, when I think that we could have had one last Cena-Angle match at WrestleMania a few years ago. But Vince McMahon insisted on Baron Corbin instead. And it sucks we didn't get it. And you know what? It sucks that we're not going to get another Cena and Edge match, because you know that if Edge was still in WWE, obviously Cena and Edge would be working together during this retirement run. And I think the two of them, just like Cena and Orton and Cena and Punk, I think the two of them could still have a very good match together. You know, maybe it wouldn't live up to some of the earlier matches they had. And that's not possible now, so that sucks. But Cena came out there and he said, look, I got no plan. I don't know what I'm going to say. I didn't think about it. I didn't plan for anything. I just wanted to come out here and just thank all of you and just take it all in. And he was ready to walk out when he was interrupted by Sami Zayn, the brand new United States champion who got booed out of the building. And I have no idea where that came from. That was surprising to hear the boos that loud for him. It's not like there's been any hint of fan backlash towards him in recent weeks. You know, even Cody, when he comes out, sometimes he'll get some mild boos here and there now, but this was just like boo, like thunderous boos, overwhelming Sami Zayn, who was, you know, he was laughing and smiling at it, but you know that's just him masking, like, what the fuck is going on here? Because he didn't know what to say or how to react. But yes, he just won the United States Championship from Solo Sikoa, you know, a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was just a matter of interrupting Cena in front of a very pro-Cena crowd, but Cena was about to leave anyway, so it's not like he interrupted him in mid-sentence. You know, it was just very weird. I'm assuming that was a one-night thing in Chicago and it's not going to carry over into other cities. But Zayn came out to mention how he made his main roster debut against John Cena. That was part of the John Cena U.S. Title Open Challenge that he was doing 10 years ago. Boy, a lot of commemorating things that happened 10 years ago. So he wanted two things. Number one, with Cena's permission, he wanted to revive the U.S. Title Open Challenge to extend opportunities to people just like Cena did to him. And Cena loved that idea. And two, he wanted to extend an invitation to John Cena, the way that Cena did to him. John Cena against Sami Zayn in Chicago for the United States Championship. And Cena accepted. So we got an impromptu title match with John Cena on TV. It was a great match, too, what I actually saw of it. Because unfortunately, they butchered the match with commercials more so than usual on these shows. And there were some big spots, too, that happened during those breaks. It's like a lot of these matches, when they have the commercial breaks or the picture-in-picture, you know, nothing of any significance happens. Like, I'll be watching Raw with the VPN, and so I can see, during Raw, I can see on Netflix, you know, what's going on during the breaks. And nothing terribly important ever happens, but they were popping off some pretty big spots, you know, during the commercial breaks during this match. There was a blue thunder bomb by Sami into a near fall on Cena. Later on, Cena got an ankle lock applied, and then the STFU. Sami went for the rope. Cena drags him back to the center of the ring, and it looks like the crowd is just going nuts in the background. But I can't hear a fucking thing. I can sure hear that BK theme. Sami gave Cena an attitude adjustment later for a near fall. All of this happened during various commercials. We also got more callbacks to Cena's past opponents, with him using the Kevin Owens pop-up powerbomb, the angle slam, which Michael Cole called a back suplex. I have no idea how Cole missed the significance of that spot in that building. He also referred to a John Cena spear, which was clearly an homage to Edge, as somehow a sign of his past battles with the big dog. Even Cena on Instagram the next morning, he posted a photo. You know, because Cena just posts photos. He doesn't post anything else And a lot of times you have to figure out the context. It didn't take much to figure out the context of this photo. He just posted a photo of Edge standing in the corner, crouched down, setting up for a spear. I don't know what's going on with Michael Cole. He's been off lately. I don't know what's going on there. But in the end, a great U.S. title match ruined by Brock Lesnar, who came out, beat up the referee, F5 Sami Zayn, F5 John Cena, picked him up, F5'd him again. Then in the back, he told Cena that he would see him at Wrestlepalooza, and he called him a bitch. Now, Brock is going to be back on SmackDown this Friday, so it'd be nice if he had a little more to say than that. You know, maybe talk about their history together, what it is about Cena that he clearly doesn't like. Remember when he cut that promo on Cena for their SummerSlam match and said that he was it the SummerSlam match or was it the Extreme Rules match? I don't remember now, but he cut that promo on Cena and he said that he was going to leave him in a pile of blood, urine, and vomit. Remember that? Kind of takes on a bit of a different meaning now, though. You know, did he want Cena to text him video of him urinating on the pile of blood and vomit? That we don't know. But just give us something more than just the bare minimum. Yeah, I know it's a big marquee match for them to promote, whether Brock says another word or not between now and then, but we still have 2 weeks to go. And now we know that John Cena is not going to be on SmackDown again. They told us already he ain't going to be on SmackDown. So it would be nice to get something more than just a couple of sentences this Friday. Now, between the opening Cena promo and the match with Sami, that ate up the first 45 minutes of the show on Friday. But it was the best part of the show outside of the ending. Now, I will say about SmackDown, you know, as much as everything in the middle felt like complete filler, and I'm not even going to rant again about the Julia stuff. If you want to hear my rant on that, go listen to my SmackDown review. But I will say that show flew by a lot faster than it does most weeks. It was more fun than SmackDown has been in weeks. They're also doing Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre this Friday, which smells like a Cody Rhodes return. And Tiffany Stratton defends the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. Nia Jax is still hanging around, so I don't know what involvement she may end up having there. I hope it's not her getting involved and they throw the match away and then we get a triple threat. Because I can totally see it being a triple threat. But back to Cena, we got some news. WWE has announced that John Cena will make his final appearances in Boston and New York City when Monday Night Raw comes to the TD Garden on November 10th and Madison Square Garden on November 17th. November 17th, that's interesting. WWE was at Madison Square Garden on November 17th in 1996 for the Survivor Series. It's where Sid won the title from Shawn Michaels. Don't ask me how I remember that. Some dates just stick with me. But what's interesting about that is that means Cena's final match in December on Saturday night's main event will not be taking place in Boston. According to John Alba of Sports Illustrated, WWE has been trying to push Cena's last match as a destination weekend, like they do for WrestleMania. So they'll have some other events around the event, like an Undertaker one-man show. He says Boston badly wanted that Saturday night's main event show, and officials there made a strong push for it. WWE and TKO wanted Cena's last match to be a major destination event, and doing that in December in Boston around the holidays isn't easy. But it was a bidding process from the beginning, and Boston simply lost out. He says that Boston went hard for it. It didn't come to pass, and they were very upset with how WWE communicated the bidding process with them and some of the demands in comparison to past events in Boston. Well, that's how the bidding process works. When there's demand for a big event, you're going to have to pay top dollar or sweeten the pot to make it more attractive to them. It sounds like Boston didn't step up, and now they're bitter about it. So instead, we now find out that Washington, D.C. is likely to be the site of John Cena's final match. And I was thinking about that and said, I cannot think of a single connection that John Cena, specifically, has to Washington, D.C., except that one of his greatest rivals just so happens to be from Washington, D.C. The same night that John Cena won his first WWE Championship, this man won his first World Heavyweight Championship. And that would be Dave Batista. Now, I am not saying that Batista is going to be wrestling John Cena in his final match. Batista is retired. When he says that he is retired, I believe him 100%. He wanted that match with Triple H. He got that match with Triple H. That was 6 years ago. He is not wrestling again. But if they can make it work with his schedule, I think it would be cool for him and very appropriate for him to be a part of that show in some way. You know, they were both part of that OVW class of 2002. Batista made his SmackDown debut in May of that year. Cena made his SmackDown debut the following month. And their careers parallel each other in a lot of ways, right on into the success that they're having in Hollywood. So if they have any guests of honor in attendance that night, and I'm sure they will, and if they can make it work schedule-wise, he should be one of the people that's present in DC that night.